Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And welcome back, everyone. I want to introduce you to a wonderful book for children that is entertaining, informative, has life lessons, lessons about ecology and animals. And the book is called Jack Shoop in Beaver Creek Meadow. And we've gone through that book. We've talked with the author. He's back here today, and he's been reading us. Hasn't even been published yet. The next in the series. So we're gonna dig. Or Jack Sprout. I'm sorry, I said Jack Shoop. He's Jack Shoop. He's the author, and he's back with us. Hey, Jack, how you doing?
Hey, Steve, how's it going?
Yeah, it's good to have you back here. And I always say this. I love the book Jack Sprout, and what a great book for schools, parents, libraries. I want to reset that for everyone before we continue into call it part 2 or the next in the series. Jack Sprout, essentially, what's that book about?
Okay, back in the day, this is a long time ago, back in the 70s, I was selling and delivering sunflower sprouts. It's a new age food to health food stores around Portland, Oregon area. And as my name's Jack, so as I'd come into the store, people go, "Here comes Jack with these sprouts." And then it became, "Here comes Jack Sprout." So I was Jack Sprout to the store people. So I went home and I thought, wow, that's a great name. I drew a stick figure, and I had an artist friend of mine draw Jack Sprout like you see today on jacksprout.com. So that was the beginning of it. And then it just kind of grew from there. I created a story based on a sprout farmer. And sprout farmer, when you're a farmer, you meet all these people that help you make a farm. So the book is a story of Jack going around and talking to his neighbors, finding out what he needs to do to create a farm that will help them in the environment. So basically, Jack Sprout is a sunflower sprout that teaches the lessons of nature.
I love that. And the fact that even back in the 70s, health food is big now. We got Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
You were delivering that back in the 70s.
I know it was kind of funny delivering the food to a health food store that they didn't even know what it was.
Wow.
They didn't know what's a sunflower sprout, what's a buckwheat sprout. They didn't even know what it was. So we were a little ahead of our time in there. But it was funny because they go, "Well, there's a health food store," and you go to a health food store, they go, "Well, there's a health food aisle." And you, "Well, what's the other stuff?" You know what I mean?
We've talked about this before, but I never knew that's where it all began.
Yeah.
I know that, you're located or have been in Kentucky. You're back there now, right?
Yeah, I'm in Kentucky.
I know we've done some shows from when you've been in Hawaii. You lived there for a lot of years. But I never knew it started with you delivering sunflower sprouts. How funny is that?
That was totally organic, totally by happenstance. My dad named me Jack, and if I wouldn't have been Jack, there would be no Jack Sprout because, people are like, "Oh, there's Jack with his sprout, there's Jack Sprout." So I came by it honestly, organically, and I think it's kind of I've been chosen, if you want to put it that way. I've been picked out to get the word out that Dr. Ann Wigmore started when she discovered wheatgrass and the health foods, the live foods. And I'm kind of the one that's, bring it to the mainstream, so to speak, and give it to kids. And I got to give it to them in a fun way. So nature and farming is not really fun. It's exciting, and but I'm trying to make it fun and interesting, something that a kid will want to latch on to Jack Sprout.
Well, I find it interesting that this is a part of you, and from that it turned into a book, and now a second book in progress. Right. So you're very deeply connected with this, but even in our society, many are gravitating toward healthier eating. Let's be honest, our food supply is tainted with pesticides, garbage, processed food, all of that many of us are looking for an alternative. So we're going back to, holistic living, if you will, or at least trying to. And this book has been in the works I think you revealed 40 years. I mean, it was back in the 80s. You were thinking about it. You were working on it.
Yeah.
Music. You did a music CD for it. You also have a video game as well, computer game. So very much a part of your life. But I think you're in line with what people are thinking today. And then parents, of course, instilling healthier eating and living to their children. So we have Jack Sprout in Beaver Creek Meadow. That gets us into the second book, which hasn't been published, hasn't been even refined, fully edited, all of that you've been sharing with us, which is called A New Look into an Old World. You've been reading, I don't even know, I like to say chapter by chapter, but I don't even know if these are broken into chapters yet.
No,
Are they?
these are, no, I just wrote this 30,000 words and I'm just reading it to you from, I haven't edited, I haven't had anybody look at it. You know how you let somebody, what do you think? But I haven't done that. So I'm just reading 5 pages at a time,
Mm.
and we got 5 more left. So hopefully I can get through it before we're done. And yeah, it's pretty raw,
But
but
it sounds great, and the journey that took them from the meadow to the ocean and back to land again. I think this
right.
is very cool. That it's almost as if we're looking over the shoulder of an author before it's been polished up, but it still sounds fantastic. And where are we going today?
Well, thanks for saying that. Well, we're going to go on the inland a little bit, the nature guide lark. Matter of fact, kind of the way I wrote it is the nature guide lark showed up at the cabin cruiser the next morning at sun, gleaned off the calm sea. We were ready, already eating our breakfast. Good morning, mateys. I think we'll just stay out here on the boat today. There's much to learn about nature here at the shoreline. So I write that, and then I go, uh-oh. Now I got to come up with a bunch of stuff to learn at the shoreline. So, I kind of like throw myself out there and I go, oh, now I got to come up with a backstory. So that's kind of how I wrote it. But so there's much to learn about nature here at the shoreline. I'll tell you about the coral, sand, seashells, currents, and wave surges. So much to learn here on the shoreline. Oh, and the undertow currents. You're going to love that one, Jack Sprout. Great, I said. Since you're boat people, said Lark, you know how to treat the coral with respect when you first came to our shore. You stayed back and let your anchor rest in the sand. Coral looks and feels like rock, but they are very much live animals. When coral are babies, they float around until they find a shallow beach to attach to. They begin to grow and create a colony of strong coral that's called a reef. The coral reef does many great things. It feeds fish swimming by and creates holes and places for small sea creatures to make their homes. Most importantly, it holds down the sand so waves coming ashore doesn't drag too much sand back out to sea. Sometimes the coral gets sick and even die. That's a terrible thing to happen. When we found out about the sickness, we tried to discover the cause. Come to find out, everything good or bad flows downhill. It either comes down in a stream or filters to the soil. Sometimes poisons, gases, algae, or minerals seep into the streams from up in the mountains or the meadow. All these poisons flow down to the water's edge and onto the coral. We're letting the coral get sick. As soon as we found that out, we made lots of changes. We put in bamboo filters and created drain ponds to let the poison dry out and evaporate. We composted rotten fruit. We were careful on what we burned up and put up signs to educate everyone. Today, our coral is healthy and spreading to protect our shoreline. When we protect the coral protects us. I love how nature works, don't you? We sure do, we said. We knew about coral, but didn't know about the reefs and their importance. When we get back, we'll spread the word to Oliver Otter. We're sure he'll help and start some programs to help protect the coral. We'll make sure the farmers in Beaver Creek Meadow will not put anything on their soil that may sift through and flow out to the sea. I hope we get back in time. Good. Now, how about currents? Asked Lark. What do you know about currents? I see them all the time when I'm out at sea, said Captain Barry. They look like shiny roads going through the waters. If I see one going my way, I get on it and get a free ride. That's right, said Lark. Currents go all the way around the planet. There are a few different currents. Some are caused by wind and waves. Some are caused by the planet spinning or temperature of the water. However they're formed, they can be fun to watch and ride. They help carry fish, other sea life, seaweeds, driftwood, and your boats around the planet. Just like the wind currents take birds around the planet when they need to migrate to other lands. Unfortunately, not all currents are good ones. We have what we call rip currents. Some waves pile up on the beach and have to get back out, so they create their own path back. It causes a strong rip current that pulls who or whatever is in it out to sea, sometimes never to be heard from again. I got a plan today that'll show you how they work. You want to let all of Otter and all of Beaver Creek Meadow know about rip currents. That's a great idea, I said. Tell us about your plan, Lark. I brought a 100-yard long reed rope that I use when adventurers come to visit. I tie the rope around their waist and shoulders. Then we toss them into the rip current. They get sucked out to sea so they can feel the power of the current and learn for themselves. We follow them in our cruisers. They're sure to be good rip current teachers after that. Here you go, Jack Spout. Let's get you in your harness. Oh, no. No, I'm okay. I believe you. Let's learn about something else, I begged. Oh, come on, said Lark. It's very important. I thought you said you would love learning about rip currents. It's a wild ride. I don't like wild rides. Why don't you just put a sign over there where the rip currents start and warn about the danger, I asked. We do have a sign. Of course we have signs. We warn of danger all over nature here at the center. Well, what does that sign over there on the beach say, I asked. That one over there? It says, warning, strong rip current area. 33 swimmers have been lost out to 33 swimmers have been lost out of the sea in the last 10 years from this spot, never to be heard from again. There's a loud thud, and Lark turned around. What's wrong with him? Asked Lark. He fainted, said Captain Barry. You're scaring him. He's a seed and soil guy, not a water guy. We better let him rest for a while, suggested Lark. I brought a couple of bamboo reeds to breathe through while we're snorkeling. Here, let's go take a look underwater. We can check your anchor and say hello to all the silly-looking creatures. I'll just stand here and bend down over my long, super long legs. But you'll have to sink a bit. We'll talk when we get back to the boat. Captain Barry grabbed a bamboo reed and went overboard to snorkel. Wow, he exclaimed. But of course, underwater, he also swallowed a big bear mouth full of seawater. He shot up to the surface, coughing and spitting out water while shaking his head. What's the matter with you? Asked Laura. You never told me that there's a whole nother world under there, exclaimed Captain Barry. Well, there is, so go check it out, said Lark. Captain Barry went back down and was amazed at all the life underwater. Of course, the coral was on the bottom, so he would be sure to bear paddle and stay above it. So many fish were swimming around and through the coral and all over the place. He saw yellow and blue tangs, rabbitfish, surgeonfish, and moray eel was at his feet. A turtle swam by, and even a little seahorse was swimming around. A yellow wrasse was there, a pufferfish, a rockfish, and even a sea bass was swimming farther out to sea. It was very bright under the water, which was a beautiful bluish-green color. It looked like a painting, but it was very real. Captain Barry came back for air and then back down to watch his new world. His eyes and mind now had to think about what lived underwater and not just life on land. This new world would take a long time to figure out. He finally came up and was ready to get back to the day's lesson. He would have to tell Jack Sprout about this new underwater world later. Thanks, Lark, said Captain Barry. Wow, is all I can say. Back at the boat, Jack Sprout had woken up but was still slightly dizzy. Lark was talking to him while tying the reed rope around his waist and shoulders. Come on now, Jack Sprout, said the nature guide. You have to do this for the safety of all Beaver Creek Meadow. You get to live there, and you have to do your best to help. I do my best to help, I protested. I know you do, said Lark, but there's always new challenges, and you have to keep on helping. This will be over in no time, and you'll be a rip current expert. I don't want to be a rip current expert. Captain Barry put the cruiser in gear and steered over towards the Rip Current sign. Lark told me to keep my ears out of water, and don't worry, the reed rope would hold me tight. What about the tiger sharks and the marlins and the barracudas? I asked. Don't worry. I waited until the sun was high in the sky. The water is warm on top now, and those mean fish stay down in cooler waters. Good question, though. You are aware of your surrounding. That's good. With the help of my supposedly good friend, Captain Barry, Lark threw me in the rip current. They steered the cruiser out into the open sea, keeping a safe distance away from me. It wasn't long before the strong rip current had taken hold of me and began to suck me out to sea. The current was so powerful that I couldn't do anything to stop from being dragged along. I was rightly scared and started to scream, yell, and flap my arms. I was in full panic mode. Wow, he's a screamer, huh? Said Lark. Maybe don't tell your neighbors about this. It's not his fault he's not a water guy. But this lesson is important because there are a lot of your neighbors that aren't comfortable around water either. You see what he's doing now is completely the worst things he could be doing. You hear how loud he's yelling? That'll make his muscles tight and make it hard for him to move. He's yelling and making it hard for him to breathe, too. Waving his arms like that will tire him out, and he'll be able to swim when it's time to save himself. There's no sense in fighting a rip current. You'll never win. No one has. He needs to calm down, float a while, and try to swim slowly to either side. The rip current will get weaker eventually, and he'll be able to swim out of it. The way he's going now, he'll be too tired and will sink, never to be heard from again. Good thing this is just a lesson and he's tied to a lifeline. Maybe you can signal him to chill out. Captain Barry used one of his many horns and let out a long, loud toot, toot, toot honk. I looked over at the cruiser and saw Captain Barry giving me the sign. It's a sound we had worked out to let each other know that things were okay. I stopped struggling and started floating. I was too worn out from fighting the strong current anyway. There was nothing I could do but float. Captain Barry drifted the cruiser over and rescued his buddy from the wild rip current lesson. I'm never doing that again, I guess. Never been so scared in all my life. I'm going to warn everyone about rip currents. Don't you worry about that. You'll have to warn them, but also teach them what to do if they accidentally get caught up in one. It could happen anytime, anywhere. Everything you were doing before you heard the horn was exactly the wrong thing to do. Tell your friends to stay calm, float, and try to swim to either side. Eventually, things will slow down so you can swim out of it safely. Another thing, don't go swimming alone. Take a friend. Tough way to learn a lesson, I said, but I get the point. Excuse me, I need to go recover in my bunk. Captain Barry helped me down the bunks below for a rest. He felt bad for me as it was a tough lesson to learn and he hadn't been able to help me. He was even more impressed now, though, how good and important a neighbor I was to have in Beaver Creek Meadow. Well, Captain Barry, I'm afraid Jack Sprout is too tired to go anywhere for more lessons today. We might as well stay on board and learn from the sun, the moon, and the stars in the sky. You probably know much about I do. I know the sun is mostly a burning ball of hot gases, hydrogen and helium, said Lark. We have those gases here at the center. Maybe we're related to the sun somehow. I know we need the sun for about everything, heat, and for the photosynthesis to turn our plants green with food and light to find our way around. Couldn't imagine life without the sun. We needed it, but I'm not sure if the sun needs our planet. Oh well, we'll keep on spinning and keep on learning. I don't know much about the sun, said Captain Barry. I use it to tell the time of day and find north and south. I like this time of the day when it's ready to set over the sea. Just as the sun sets, it peeks through the water and shines a bright green light. We call it a green flash. It doesn't happen every day. The conditions have to be just right. It's too cloudy to see it today. It's a thrill to see, though. One of the beautiful beauties of nature. The moon and stars are what we boat captains and sailors use to steer by, started Captain Barry. The moon gives us light at night. The different phases of the moon tells us what time of the season and month it is and what times the waves will be coming. We already know that a compass doesn't work this close to the center of the universe. Stars travel across the night sky from east to west. We always have to find the North Star. You can't be out on the open sea without knowing which way is north. To find the North Star, or some call it Polaris, we just find the Big Dipper. Follow the line from the end, away from the handle, straight up. There it is on the handle of the Little Dipper. Nature made it easy to find the most important star for navigation. Thank goodness for the Big Dipper. I woke up and heard talking on the deck. I came up to find a couple star watchers. I said, "Hi, how's the stars tonight?" "How was your nap?" asked the captain. "I was passed out cold," I said. "Being scared out of your mind must make you tired." "Is it nighttime already? Did you see the green flash?" "It was too cloudy," said Lark. "The winds have switched on shore and we're ready for nighttime. The night owls will be coming out pretty soon, so I think I'll head over to shore to my nest. What do you want to learn about tomorrow?" "How about some soil and seed and plant stuff?" I suggested. "Something I may know about." "Sure thing," said Lark. We grow plants for eating, for beauty, for building our homes, making canoes, and to compost to grow even more plants. We grow in the desert, on the prairies, hillsides, plains, and even in water. Each area had the different types of soil made from different sources. "So long and sleep tight," said the nature guide. The next morning, Lark was on the shoreline blowing his conch seashell to wake up the nature adventurers from Beaver Creek Meadow. "That's a fun way to wake up," I told Captain Barry. "Let's go ashore and see what lessons our guides have for us today." "Good morning, Lark," we said. "That's a great wake-up call you have." "Thanks. I've had this conch shell my whole life. It was on the shore when I was hatched. I even used it to sleep in when I was just a fledgling. As you can imagine, I have many different calls I can make. I can be heard for miles if I want. I told you last night about all the different places we grow plants. I'll tell you about some, but today we'll go into the valley where the best soil is found. The desert is very hot, so only a few hardy plants grow there. Sand is great, though, for holding roots to help the plants grow. We love our Joshua trees that grow there and barrel cactus flowers, but there's not much in the sand that plants can use for food. Most of the plants grow there are eaten by desert creatures, and not much is shared around the center. Of course, everything grows on the prairie. Most of that soil has been put there by flooding rivers that spread soil around. Trees don't like it too much because it's too windy, but everything else grows well. Then we have the swampy areas between the sandy shore and the prairie where water drains down from the mountains. There's so much water that a lot of helpful minerals are washed out of the soil and into the swamp. Rice grows well in the swamp and also some root crops. Taro grows well there, and rice and taro are shared all over our center.
Hey, Jack,
Our bam
I don't want to say we were out of time because like I'm getting visuals. The way you
Okay.
write, it's just picturesque.
Yeah,
Uh,
it is. It's
you,
pretty detailed, yeah.
yeah, I tell you, but so many lessons involved there, right down to talking about coral. Many people don't realize that it's something that is living, and if you
Yeah.
break off a piece, you're killing it. And right down to the tropical fish, the yellow and the blue tang. Just good stuff. Like there's lessons. There's a lesson in every paragraph of that book, and the same thing with Beaver Creek Meadow. Want to tell everybody jacksprout.com, where you can learn more about the first book and everything you've got going on. And also, you're also entertaining. If somebody wants to license Jack Sprout for whatever use, you're available for
Yeah,
that.
like you said, it's very detailed and there's a lot that can happen. It can be, I'm looking for a company that wants to use Jack Sprout as their logo.
Sure.
That's straight out the truth. You can find my book on Amazon or jacksprout.com. But if I could find a company that has a product or wants to hit to the children's market, like you just said, I think Jack Sprout would be a great logo for them, a great, what do you call it, like a mascot for them. But there is a lot of lessons, and maybe there's too many lessons for children. I'm meeting with the lady on Thursday. Maybe we're going to try to do a coloring book.
Oh, you know
Yeah,
what? That's what a great
yeah.
idea. And adult coloring books are huge right now as well.
Oh, is that right? Wow,
Oh
okay.
my gosh, it's been a couple of years now where that is like even knitting has come back as a way
Yeah.
to just relieve stress, but adult coloring books. I could see this, and just say, because you say adult doesn't mean kids can't color as well in the same book.
Yeah, I was wondering what age group to aim this at because I want to sneak all this information in there, and then, of course, there's going to be a lot of sunflowers, and there will be
Yeah.
monarch butterflies with milkweed, and all this stuff in there.
You know what?
But
It's on my radar. I know some people have done it. Google Cozy and Comfy or Comfy and Cozy coloring books. There's a line of them, and different authors write their books under that umbrella. Certainly can see that there. I don't know why I never even thought of that. What a great idea.
cozy, thank
Yeah.
you, cozy and comfy.
Yeah, pretty sure that's it. And it's a whole line of books. You'll see them. I know even somebody that lives in Hawaii and was inspired and just literally just released a coloring book about characters in Hawaii and Polynesian culture and all of that. But yeah, it's for anybody. It could be adults and kids. JackSprout.com is the website. Jack, thank you again
Yeah,
for sharing.
you can email me at jack@jacksprout.com. Let's hook up and do something.
Awesome. All right, we'll talk next time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.